On Osrc News at 7, activities pick up at road construction sites across Ondo State. Residents count losses as explosion rocks Ibadan. GP for federal capital from
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on Osrc News at 7. My name is Sahid Aribisala. Residents of Ondo State have shared optimism over the timely completion of ongoing road projects across the state. The renewed optimism followed the directive of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa that contractors return to site, a demonstration of his resolve to replace quality infrastructure. Osrc's crew visited some of the hitherto neglected road projects and reports that contractors are truly returning to site.
In a statement through his chief press secretary, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, 2 weeks into his assumption, contracting across back to site. All in the statement reads is to spur projects. Following through the response to this directive, Osrc's crew set out to visit some of the projects, begging for attention. The construction of Joka dualization is far from completed, with asphalt overlay still at Ijomimo Junction. Moving forward from there remains a Herculean task, which residents hope will come to an end if the directive of the governor is hearkened strictly.
Gbogbo ìgbà là ń ké pè wọ́n àwọn kankan so kí gómìnà dẹ̀ ti sọ fún wa tá a ti gbọ́ lórí rédíò ní gbogbo pé gómìnà ti sọ fún wọn pé oṣù mẹ́ta wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ parí ọ̀nà wọ́n ṣe kánúlẹ̀ rúkú tó nínú wàhálà.
Gbàjọba báyìí sìn rò pé ó ti give go ahead ojú ọ̀nà yìí inú wa dẹ̀ dùn ṣé ti yé inú wa dùn lóòrèkóòrè because ọ̀nà Ìjọ̀ká ó wà poor tẹ́lẹ̀ ọ̀nà Ìjọ̀ká tó dá báyìí òun ni gbogbo everybody fi ń kọ́ ṣọ́ọ̀bù.
The 4-kilometer ShopRite Oda dual carriageway and 3-kilometer single carriageway to Oda Town was flagged off in 2019 is also yet to be completed. After said the
remaining 3 kilometers is what we are doing. Presently now we are excavating for the construction of a line drain this side to Oda. The place we are now is kilometer 5.5 and we are excavating towards 6 kilometers now. That is Chene 6 plus 000. Yes, we are excavating towards 6 kilometers. Very soon we take it to Oda Town.
Reconstruction of Orita Obelection, Yodu, or Ipinsha Road, Maronu Street is another which has left many residents longing for its completion. Their residents are hoping will employ a strong mechanism to see the project delivered to specification timeously. Secretary of Works people that the ongoing project will be delivered.
At the moment from now, the processes have been. You will see the ministry now. And then allow you. Once you go and other the 4 kilometers of dualization has been completed as we speak. If you go to Ijo, tell you contract before the expiration of the project by demonstration
Completion of our township construction 15.8 km construction of Arigidi Ogbagi Road, Agagu University of Technology. Spread across Ondo State with Governor to our benefit of the people. Sahid Arisa.
Efforts of Ondo State government to regain the state's status as one of the leader states in the country is gradually yielding positive results. Osrc's visits to the state capital shows that some spots which were illegally used as dumping points have been cleared, while the road median are now free from refuse. Omar Alambriji has details.
This is the current status of the capital city, Ondo, from other axis, Obadesh markets, and other enjoy pollution of waste. Minds of the government, which coalition waste policy to achieve that result.
Ó ti ṣe díẹ̀ báyìí, wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ wọn déédéé, wọ́n ń gbálẹ̀ gbogbo bíi náà là ń gbá tá à ń kó sí ìkólẹ̀ èkó dọ̀tí. Wọ́n wá ń kó.
Everything is okay. As you can see, the bus stop now is very clean. So I will just employ the government to just put more effort so that the place can be all right.
Actually, where I'm staying right now, it used to be dirty, and always every morning they used to sweep it, and it makes places to be okay and all right. Talk about the neatness in the environment. I think this and the other. They should just put it on and try their effort and make sure things are in order.
They also called the attention of government to some illegal dump spots around Olufum axis along Ilesha or for officers to arrest violators.
Some people then pack refuse inside the cars. Immediately they reach here and just throw it and go away. And then if you will south, if you say this place is it as a drop the refuse.
It has been that people are very bad. Here is bush. So to it, it's giving us those of us that live in environment, this environment problem. I want it to pack it always. If the government can appoint somebody, we monitor this place. Whoever drop anything here, that's the fellow. The law.
Directives are followed. Just show this is pride play amongst environmentalists.
In the past, the state government used to handle 7 local governments for public waste management. But when we knew that there are still very serious issues, either of finance and other operational matters, we reduced to 4 local governments in towns like Akure, Owo, Ore, and Ondo. That is why we have, and we pay about 43 million naira per month, between 43 and 45 million to service public waste issues in the state. So the idea is to review all 16 contractual agreements, the MOUs that we have on ground with all our contractors in the Ministry of Environment, the environment family. We want to look at them. How far have you been doing? We want to evaluate. Then look at the situation if there are issues. Why are these issues there? Why are these not there? What are the structures that have been in place? Which one is not meeting the current realities of things?
He called for the collaboration of residents, including community heads and landlords association, to huge success.
Ondo State Government, through its Teaching Service Commission, TESCOM, has declared that the purported teachers' recruitment being circulated on social media is not true. Head of Press and Public Relations Unit of TESCOM, Goodluck Akiyomi, in a statement released to newsmen, disclosed that the purported teachers' recruitment advertisement did not emanate from TESCOM. The statement added that the Permanent Secretary, TESCOM, and joined public to the advertisement and so regard it as false. Akiyomi further noted that the Ondo State Government is providing enabling and relevant instructional facilities in tandem with global best practices for effective and efficient teaching to public sector schools of state. Teachers are now enjoying the dividends of democracy through regular payment of salaries, promotion, among benefits for deserving ones. To the pace-setter states, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has directed that the medical bills of all victims of the explosion that rocked the city Tuesday night be covered by the government. The governor gave this directive when he visited the site of the explosion in Bodija a few hours after the incident. Governor Makinde also said the government will be providing temporary accommodation for those whose houses were affected and ensuring that they are supported to rebuild their lives. However, preliminary investigations by security agencies revealed that illegal miners occupying one of the houses in Bodija have stored explosive devices there which caused the blast that resulted in 2 fatalities and 77 injured victims, most of whom were treated and discharged. The Oyo State government promised that all those found culpable for the explosion will be brought to book.
We've seen this devastation here, and from what we've gathered so far, the likelihood is that you have illegal miners finding it explosive around this place. We've always said to people that when you see something, say something, and then the authorities should be able to do something. This is quite unfortunate. At this stage, is just to rescue anyone that is still under the rubble here, and also the people that have been taken to the hospital to give them care, and also some of the people who have their houses destroyed, provide temporary accommodation for them.
Meanwhile, residents of Ibadan have been counting their losses after several hours and properties worth millions of naira were destroyed following an explosion that rocked Ibadan. The affected areas were a section of the governor's office.
It's incomprehensible.
New Garage, Basharu, Akubo, Songo, and Elele.
We thought this would happen in places like Zamfara, you know, in the far north. So if dynamite triggers devastating effect, Bodija. This is a housing, this is a residential location, you know, predominantly owner occupied. So many old people have been taken from their houses last night. With friends who have their personal out. Please speaking, we feel for them, and I hope that, well, I will say that the government has been proactive because the bomb squad team have been here since 2 last night. I spoke with some of the personnel, but it's just not enough because it doesn't end here. Insurance, of course, will be the order of the day.
irúgbà tí kíní ẹ dún sí àwa rí i pé gbogbo òkúta tó fọ́n sókè àti irin tó fọ́n sókè gbogbo ẹ̀ fọ́n dọ́dọ̀ wa ó lu gbogbo rúùfù wa àbálàyé mi ò yé yín ìgbà tá a rìn débi ẹgbẹ́ epicenter transformer tó wà ń bẹ̀ ó ti gbaná yàtọ̀ sádùúgbò yìí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó ń fò wá náà ní kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ bí àwọn ṣe gbọ́ gbà òun yẹn ni gbogbo glass àwọn ń fọ́ ni rúùfù fọ́ ni gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe pọ̀ èmi rí transformer tó ń ṣe kíni tó ń ṣáná tó ń gbọ̀n lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí gbà òun yẹn kọ́kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀.
Still staying with development after the Tuesday night explosion in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The federal government has instituted an investigation into the recent explosion in Ibadan, Oyo State capital, to unravel the circumstances around it and the perpetrators of it. Minister of Defense Alhaji Mohammed Badr stated this in Abuja while briefing newsmen on the Federal Executive Council FEC's discussion on the incident. Alhaji Badr said the government had also set up a committee to look into ways to stop illegal mining in the country. The traditional ruler of Aguluenze Chuku in Aguate local government area of Igwe Ebelendo, traditional ruler of Neni, Aguate local government area, Igwe Onuamweze Damien, and the traditional ruler of Ojoto in Idabili South local government area, Igwe Gerald Mbwalu, have withdrawn the chieftaincy titles they conferred on the senator representing Anambra South, Ifeanyi Oba. Christian Aburin, the press secretary to the state governor, Professor Chukwuma Solodo, was speaking with newsmen in Alpha. The three monarchs had conferred various chieftaincy titles on Oba during their respective Ofala and cultural festivals last December. Oba, who recently defected to the All Progressives Congress, is said to be interested in contesting the 2025 governorship election in the state. The number of state government, through the State Minister of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Community Affairs, earlier suspended the traditional rulers of Neni Kingdom, Igwe and Ezeani, following his conferment of the chieftaincy title on the senator. We are due to take a break on the news at 7. We'll be back with more stories on the situation of security in the Federal Capital Territory and more. Please stay. Thank you for rejoining us on the news tonight. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV. Ondo. To other stories, many people with Down syndrome in Africa face low life expectancy, abuse, stigma, segregation, and limited life opportunities, both as children and adults. Society's negative attitudes prevent them from reaching their potential, living valued lives, and contributing to society. To reverse this trend and give children with this condition a sense of belonging, Folashade Adedeji launched an NGO, Chromosome 21 Down Syndrome Care Foundation, to see to the care of people living with the genetic disorder. Tululope Oyebode reports that the event, which was conveyed to unveil the project with the slogan, "Who is to blame?" Chromosome 21 also marks the initiator's birthday.
It wasn't an all-comers affair, as families and associates of Folashade Adedeji, who are key to actualizing a vision of caring for Down syndrome people, were on ground to unveil the project.
It started from when I was maybe just about 11 years. We had some shops beside our house. One of the shops occupied by a tailor called Fire. Kemi has, but then I said I was too young and I didn't know what this class. We're not nice to Fire Kemi just because we didn't
Down syndrome is a condition that causes a dysfacial appearance, intellectual disability, and developmental delays. Describing the motivation behind the project, Adedeji taught the causes of the disorder, advocating care and compassion for people with genetic disorder.
What causes this is that just like my mom and my dad gave birth to me, when they were giving birth, they have a certain number of genes my dad discharged, some from my mom. Together they form that created me. So now there are chromosomes that come out through them in this form of genes. So when one is in excess, that's what causes Down syndrome. Especially there is a particular one that is causing the problem because each must be one copy for my mom, one copy for my dad. So if any of this chromosome comes out as 2 copies from either of them, it will cause that we are talking about. So the particular one, 21, it's about what God asked us to do, which is love. So I'm grateful to God that He's using me as a tool to bless these people.
Love. At the unveiling were persons with the condition, flanked by their parents, who expressed delight at the initiative.
She has showed to parents and children how we're supposed to show love. And love is the greatest commandment. To children with Down syndrome, she has showed love and she gave all she has. And she still wants to be given more and more. I just pray that God Almighty will strengthen her. Happy birthday to you.
The second leg of the event was the birthday celebration of the convener.
I linked it up with my existence because if I do not exist, I don't kind of thing would be in existence, because when I search in Nigeria, we are not who is into this caring for Down syndrome people. So I act to my birth. I am.
Adedeji encouraged members of the public to lend a helping hand to the less privileged in society as a show of love and passion for humanity. Tolulokpe Oyibode, Osrc News.
The Nigeria Customs Service has set 1.13 trillion naira as revenue target for the Tin Can Island Port Command. The Customs Area Controller, Tin Can Island Port Command, Controller Dera Nnamdi, said the target allocated to Tin Can Island Port Command constitutes 27% of the national target. According to him, the command's weekly target was 66 billion naira in 2023, but from June to December, they averaged 76 billion naira, which meant that the 2024 target was possible. Nnamdi, who noted that Nigeria's economy remains an import generation economy, said the agency would map out strategy that no freight forwarders cargo stay long in the port to acquire demurrage.
Falling.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has called for the intensification of all efforts to decimate kidnappers and other criminally minded individuals in the Federal Capital Territory. The IGP spoke after a meeting with the force management team in Abuja following the worrying state of security in the nation's capital. He expressed deep concern over the unfortunate incidents and expressed the need for decisive action to curb such heinous crime. The IGP also launched a special intervention squad in the Now to the foreign scene. Sri Lanka's government hospitals have ground to a halt as tens of thousands of health workers went on strike against an increase in benefits paid only to doctors. The Health Trade Union Alliance says it wants economic justice and the same treatment for all the health workers. Kemisola Ajamu has the details.
More trade union action and demands for our government trying desperately to
to recover from a creeping economic crisis. Tens of thousands of health workers in Sri Lanka began a 24-hour work stoppage on Tuesday. They want the same benefit increase that doctors received last week.
We are opposed to this economic policy because it's unequal. The government has said it has money. Therefore, it's time we launched a struggle to demand our share.
The strike by the 100,000-strong Health Trade Union Alliance affected services at hospitals throughout the country. Those seeking treatments were angry and frustrated. According to reports, many persons outside the National Hospital in Colombo.
If we have money, we don't need to come here. I got up early this morning to come for my regular clinic visit. The doctor wrote out the prescription, but there's no one to dispense it.
I came by three-wheeler taxi with my wife who is pregnant. I have a skin condition and she's in the maternity unit. They gave us a list of medicines to buy, but I don't have the money.
Hundreds of military personnel were on standby to help. Minister Dr. Ramesh told people the decision to increase doctors' allowances was prompted by a large number leaving the country. 1,300 doctors have migrated and another 5,000 are waiting to leave. But he said the demands of others in the health sector will also be addressed.
We need to refer this matter to the Finance Ministry, for which we have done the background work now. So, but it's, we have to do the calculations and see how best, we are talking about another 100,000 workers of the government sector. So we have to see the numbers and see, we have to do our maths at a background and see how best we can allocate their request on the long run. Unions
say the government's decision to favor just one group within the health field is unacceptable. Kebisola John, Osrc News.
The arrival of Rohingya refugees in coastal Indonesia has sparked community unrest in some areas. In total, more than 1,700 refugees have arrived in the province of Aceh since mid-November. Obichukwemeka Oti has details.
In PD, this might look like a serene setting, but for this community of Rohingya refugees, the time living at this beach in Indonesia's Aceh province is just the latest chapter in a lifetime of trauma and pain. Many of them say they experienced torture in Myanmar, witnessed the murders of loved ones by security forces, and in Bangladesh, they lived through hardships and poverty and overcrowded and increasingly dangerous camps. This mother says she has an additional reason to leave Bangladesh.
The doctor in Bangladesh said that the treatment was not possible. I can't express my pain as a mother. My son is hurting.
But life is challenging and uncertain here too. The son has cuts all over his legs from dragging his body across the sand. The UN Refugee Agency, which is responsible for their food, medicine and other expenses, says it needs the local government to designate secure sites for the refugees. But local authorities say the situation is complicated.
We have tried to find them temporary shelter, but people reject.
To end the news tonight, another look at the top stories. We told you that activities have picked up at road construction sites across Ondo State as this followed the directive by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. Also informed you that residents continue to count losses as a result of the explosion that rocked Ibadan last night. And from the foreign scene, Sri Lanka health workers have gone on strike over non-inclusion in allowance scheme. And that's the size of the bulletin. Thank you for watching. Good evening.